Imagine a gigantic animal weighing almost a ton, with enormous horns and a strength capable of taking down practically anything in its path. That's the American bison, the largest land mammal in North America. For a long time, it was believed that a healthy adult bison was practically untouchable in the wild. But something began to catch the attention of researchers in Yellowstone National Park. Some of these giants are being hunted and killed, and the most surprising thing, they aren't humans. There is an animal, or rather, a group of animals that has developed a strategy capable of taking down even the largest bison. Today you will discover who this predator is, how it manages to kill such large animals, and why this is happening more and more in Yellowstone. The answer may surprise you. Before talking about the predator, you need to understand the size of the challenge. The American bison is simply one of the strongest animals in North America. An adult male can weigh between 800 and 1,000 kilograms, run at over 50 kilometers per hour, and use its horns as true weapons. Furthermore, bison are not fragile animals. They possess extremely dense muscles, thick skin, and absurd resistance. Even when wounded, many bison can still fight and escape predators. And there is another important detail. Bisons usually live in large groups called herds. This means that any predator that tries to attack one of them may end up facing several bison at the same time. Therefore, for decades, scientists believed that very few animals would dare to attack an adult bison. But nature always finds a way. The main culprit behind these deaths is an extremely intelligent animal, a predator that doesn't rely solely on strength, but rather on strategy. We're talking about the gray wolf. Alone, a wolf wouldn't stand a chance against an adult bison. But wolves don't hunt alone. They live in highly organized groups called packs. And within these packs, there's something impressive. Coordination. Each wolf has a role during the hunt. Some chase the prey, others try to surround it, and some wait for the right moment to attack. In Yellowstone, some packs have as many as 10 or even 15 wolves working together when they choose a target. The hunt begins. The first phase of the hunt doesn't involve attacking. It involves observation. Wolves can spend hours or even days observing a herd of bison. They look for signs of vulnerability. For example, an old bison, an injured animal, or one that has become separated from the group. That's the perfect target. But even so, hunting is still extremely dangerous. A single blow from a bison's horn can injure or kill a wolf. Therefore, wolves only attack when they believe they have a real chance. When the target is chosen, the chase begins. Unlike what many imagine, wolves don't try to bring down the bison immediately. Their goal is to tire the animal out. They begin by chasing the bison for long distances. Some wolves run after it. Others try to cut the path. With each escape attempt, the bison needs to expend energy. And that's exactly what the wolves want. Over time, the animal begins to breathe harder, slow down, make small mistakes, and it is at this moment that the wolves begin to get closer. Their strategy is simple. Patience. When the bison is exhausted, the entire pack springs into action. Some wolves try to bite the animal's legs. Others attack from the sides. The goal is to unbalance the bison, but even tired, the animal can still react. There are impressive records of bison throwing wolves into the air, running towards the pack, or injuring several predators before falling. It's a brutal confrontation, and the wolves don't always win. Sometimes, the bison manages to escape, but when the strategy works, the giant finally falls. When a bison is brought down, the story doesn't end there. In fact, it's only beginning. An adult bison can feed an entire pack for several days. But wolves aren't the only ones that show up. The smell of the carcass attracts several other animals: coyotes, crows, eagles, foxes, and even bears. In nature, nothing is wasted. Every part of an animal ends up being used by some other living being. That's how the ecosystem stays balanced. But there's another animal in Yellowstone that can also kill bison, and this one is even more terrifying. The grizzly bear. Unlike wolves, bears don't need a pack. They can take on a bison alone. Of course, this doesn't happen often. Most of the time, bears attack cubs, sick animals, or isolated bison. But the strength of a grizzly bear is simply impressive. Some males can weigh over 300 kilograms, and with their giant paws, they can cause enormous damage in a short amount of time. The seconds It may seem cruel to see a gigantic animal being brought down by predators, but in nature, this is essential. Predators help maintain the balance of the environment. Without them, the herbivore population could grow too large. This would lead to lack of food, destruction of vegetation, and collapse of the ecosystem. In Yellowstone, the presence of wolves completely changed the dynamics of the park. They influenced not only the bison, but also the elk, the vegetation, and even the rivers. Everything in nature is connected. Nature is full of surprises. Giant animals that seem invincible can fall before smaller, but much more strategic predators. In Yellowstone, this battle between bison, wolves, and bears has been going on for thousands of years, and it continues to happen to this day, showing a simple truth of nature. Strength is important, but intelligence and cooperation can be even more powerful. Now I want to know your opinion. If you were in nature and had to choose to face only one, a giant bison or a pack of wolves, which one would you choose?